Well, let's begin this morning with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, welcome this morning to everybody to the general session for January 28th, 2020 of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners. And for all of our guests this morning, the fall athletes, the state champions, first I want to say we're very sorry to have postponed this day for a couple of weeks. Thank you for your patience. We had an unfortunate situation a couple of weeks ago, and we want to say thank you to you for making accommodations for us, and it was something that couldn't be helped, and but we are glad you're back with us today. We like to celebrate our young people here in Franklin County and our surrounding counties, because I know we have some guests that aren't necessarily from Franklin County, but we also like to celebrate our neighbors in surrounding counties as well. But we like to annually, or not annually, 3 times a year, we like to celebrate our athletes that have made it and made major accomplishments. But we also like to celebrate our scholars and artists as well. And so this morning we have with us Brian Timm, who's the Director of Corporate Partnerships with the Greater Columbus Sports Commission, Jackie Winden with the Ohio High School Athletic Association. So if you guys want to step up. And I also want to welcome all the fall athletes representing Franklin County state champions and surrounding counties I see in golf, volleyball, tennis, cross country, field hockey, and football. So we're going to announce each team and each school and the sports and let the athletes introduce themselves. And then we'll pass the microphone around to each of the students. So if you haven't done this before and you haven't been here before, yes, you do get to hold the microphone, introduce yourself, and tell us your name, what year you are in school, and if this is your senior year and you want us to know and share your plans for the coming fall, we'd like to know that as well. We also have certificates for each of you, and we're going to want to get some photos as well. So now I want to turn it over to Dean and to Jackie. So welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Grady, and we boy, this is loud. We love your new home here. This is my first time here, so this is beautiful and very convenient. The waiting room for our group was fantastic, and your team does a great job. So I'm Brian Timm with the Greater Columbus Sports Commission. We work every day to bring sporting events to Central Ohio to generate economic development. Proud to say that yesterday we were named one of 4 finalists for one of 2 different years for the NCAA Women's Basketball Final Four, the years 2025 and 2026. The Franklin County Commissioners have always been a strong supporter of our organization and that event when we had it in 2018. So we're really excited about that opportunity. So yes, as you said, we have a great group of athletes here, a great group of folks that accomplished great things during the fall semester. Some of them are repeat, some of them are new, so we're excited for all of them. And I'd like Jackie Winden from the Ohio High School Athletic Association to say a few words.
Thank you, Brian. As mentioned across the hall, thank you again for having the OHSA here to represent and share in some of the excitement for some of these student athletes. We extend our appreciation to you all for taking the time out to celebrate their achievements, not just on the court or on the field, but for what they bring to their schools, their school communities, and also a chance to extend their gratitude to the coaches and parents that support them along the way as well. So thank you for taking the time to recognize them.
Sure, I'll make some comments. Thank you, Commissioner O'Grady. And I also want to join in the praise for the student athletes that are being recognized today. My son is still competing in college athletics, and I can remember when he was in that chair. And what I know for sure is that the moments that you have on the field, course, or whatever your sport you're in are moments that last a lifetime, and what you have achieved, they last in your mind a lifetime, and what you achieve is on the athletic field, of course, but I think it transfers in life. You know, what you learn in work ethic, what you learn in working with the team, all of these things transfer in the workforce and in life. And I know that your accomplishments are just but of one level of illustration of your future success. And you know, it takes a lot to be a champion, no matter what division you're in, no matter what sport you're in. And to be the champion of the state of Ohio, I mean, that's a lot. And very few people get to wear that title for the rest of their lives. And so be proud of that moment. Continue to uphold that for your school, your community, and your family, because that's what you represent. And I wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. It's going to be good and great for you. God bless you.
So, for those of you in the room that have heard me 3 times a year for the last number of years do this, I apologize. For you young folks, the one thing I always say when folks come down here, there's a couple of things. Number one, do not forget to thank your families. Do not forget to thank your mothers and fathers. Do not forget to thank your siblings who've had to put up with you for the last number of years or months, because without all of their support, you would not have made it here. So make sure, first and foremost, that you, at some point, before too long, go back and say thank you to them, give them all a hug. They deserve it. Congratulations to you for this accomplishment. The other thing I always say to folks is, having been in your shoes before, I was on a state championship team 137 years ago. I was on a state championship wrestling team for, yes, you DeSales boys and you DeSales folks. I was on a state wrestling championship team with Bishop Reedy back in the day. Don't let this be the biggest moment of your life. This is a fantastic accomplishment. What you've done and what you've accomplished to get here is tremendous. But you're young folks. You are 16, 17, 18 years old. You have a long life ahead of you. I'm 55 years old. Kevin's not quite that old. You know, you have an entire life ahead of you. Do not let this be the biggest moment of your life, the biggest thing that you accomplish. You have tremendous things. Let this be the thing that sets the stage for all the fantastic things that are to come in your life. Let this championship be the springboard for other fantastic things. Don't look back 30 years from now and say, you know, and tell the stories that, you know, of the glory days of the state championship that you won when you were a kid, and have that be the single biggest accomplishment of your life. Make this be the springboard for all the fantastic things that are to come. And don't forget, you know, nowadays, right now, that while your head's really big and swollen from having won this championship, that be humble. Treat the people around you great. Do wonderful things for other people in the community. And don't walk around the halls of your school as though you're the greatest thing in the world, because there's a lot of other tremendous people in your school with you every day that are accomplishing great things as well. And I say that only in that those are the things that I did when I was your age. I thought that I was the greatest thing in the world when I walked around the halls of my school, and sometimes I forgot about the other wonderful kids in my school. And it was my father who reminded me that I needed to remember the other kids in my school that were also accomplishing great things. So I'm just trying to pass that on to you like he did to me at the time. So anyway, we are very proud of all of you, and that's why we have you here. We didn't bring you down here because, you know, it does anything for our egos. We brought you down here because we wanted to make sure you guys all understood how proud of you we are and how proud the community is of you for what you've accomplished. And so we wanted to recognize that. So anyway, enough of that. It's time for us to call each of you guys up and get a photo taken with all of you and let you guys all have the microphone and tell us who you are and what you're all about. Ready? All right.
Good morning. From Wellington's Division III Boys Golf, Aiden Schumer.
Thank you so much.
Tell us what year you're in, any future plans you want to share.
Yeah, so I'm Aiden Schumer. I am a senior this year. I plan to play golf at the University of British Columbia. Just wanted to give some recognition to my coach. He couldn't be here today, but Craig Mosier, he is the best coach I could have ever asked for, and just can't wait to stay in touch with him. And yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Aiden looks like a golfer, doesn't he? He's kind of got the golf look. A rose between two to make us look good. Oh, yeah. Oh.
From Dublin Jerome's Division I Boys Golf, Ethan Snyder, Ryan Norkin, Tyler Grooms, who's the individual state champion, Logan Minning, Jake Yarborough, and Brett Podobinski with Coach Taylor Harrell.
I think these guys have been here before. Yeah, everybody's sporting the hardware today. Congrats, guys. You started off.
Sure. My name's Taylor Harley. I'm the head golf coach at Dublin Jerome High School. Thank you so much for having us here. I want to give a congratulations to all the other student athletes and coaches in the room. I know all the hard work and preparation that it takes to get to where we are. We had a great season. We were sectional champions, district champions, and state champions. We had 2 second team All-Ohio and Ethan Snyder and Ryan Norkin, and we had the individual state champion here in Tyler Grooms. So thank you very much for having us.
I'm Ethan Snyder, and I'm playing at the University of Dayton next year. So,
I'm Tyler Grooms. I'm a junior, and I plan to play at Ohio State.
I'm Ryan Norkin. I'm a senior, and I plan on playing at Ohio Wesleyan University.
I'm Jake Yarborough. I'm a junior, and I'm playing for Jerome again next year.
I'm Brett Podobinski. I'm a sophomore, and I'm also playing for Jerome next year.
I'm Logan Menning. I'm a junior, and I'm also going to be playing for Dublin Jerome next year.
You guys want to scoot it a little bit so we can get a picture? Hopefully we'll see a bunch of you back here next year.
From Dublin Jerome's Division I Girls Tennis Doubles, Arya Dudipala, Lilasa Nagaretti, with Coach Berlin.
Congratulations. Did he pronounce your names right?
Should I have stopped? I apologize.
So you butchered it.
We have some tough names there, so you did pretty good overall. I want to echo Coach Harley's sentiments. It's kind of nice with Dublin Jerome. I seem to follow his footsteps a lot on the boys' golf for their excellence that they have set forth. But again, I want to echo his sentiments. Congratulations to all of the student athletes, their parents, coaches that may be here in attendance as well. Same thing, we had a pretty solid year overall as a team. We were 18-1. These two girls really kind of turned it on in the postseason here. We had a pretty neat thing that happened. We had another set of teammates who actually, they both finished first and second in sectionals, first and second in districts, and actually first and second in states as well. So it was a pretty neat thing to happen for Dublin Jerome. But overall, really good season, and these two, happy to say they're juniors, and they also will be coming back and playing for Dublin Jerome next year.
I'm Arya Dudapala, and I'm a junior, and I just want to thank Coach Ken for supporting us throughout the season.
I'm Lala Nagiredi, and I'm a junior, and yeah, I would like to thank my parents and Coach Ken for supporting us throughout the season. And yeah, it's kind of hard because we had to play our teammates in the finals, so he kind of didn't know who to support, so he just like sat there. You know, he was chilling.
From Hannah, Columbus Academy, Division II Girls Tennis Singles, Sydney Ratliff.
I as well, congratulations to all the student athletes here and coaches and parents. It's a great accomplishment to be here, obviously, so we're very excited to have Sydney Ratliff here today. She was the state finalist 2 years in a row, her freshman and sophomore year, so I feel with her work ethic and passion for the game and just improving mentally and her physical training that it really paid off this year. So we're very proud of Sydney. She helped lead the team to third place in the overall team states, and just a great leader and represents Columbus Academy in the finest manner. So Sydney Ratliff. Yep.
I'd like to thank the OHSAA, and the Commissioner's Office for just having this event, and I'd like to thank my parents and of course my school for just always supporting me throughout this whole high school journey. Thank you.
You want to come up here too, parents?
Yeah, come on, I'll get.
From Columbus Academy, Division I Field Hockey, Kirsten Tomasi and Lauren Bernacki.
Hi, I'm Ann Horton. I'm very fortunate to have had these young ladies with me now for our second state championship. They've been great leaders and advocates of our program, and it's always fun to come here and be a part of this excellence, celebrating these championships that everyone has worked so hard to come about. This team this year, very special, coming off the heels of a great season last year. A little bit of pressure on them. We ended up with 20 wins and had that unfortunate tie. But overall, I'm just really proud of them, and I'm going to miss them horribly.
I'm Kirsten Tomasi. I'm a senior. I'm going to be playing at UNC Chapel Hill next year. I just want to say thank you to Coach Horton for everything and supporting us and our team, and of course my mom. And yeah.
Who works for the county?
I'm Lauren Bernacki. I'm also a senior, and I'm going to SMU, but I'm not playing. And I just want to say thanks to Coach and for always pushing us to be like the best that we can be. And she was always there, like barking in our ear, like, "Come on, you can be better. You can be better. Don't give up." And without her and without our team and Kirsten, it's just very special to be here today with her because we've been playing together on varsity since our freshman year, so it's just bittersweet. Thank you.
That's a big deal. Thanks for saying something.
From Columbus Academy Division II Boys Golf, Ali Khan, Russell Ahmed, Griffin Mitchell, and Matthew Kamier.
I'm Coach Craig Yasko. Echoing sentiments, congratulations to all of you, not just the student athletes, but your parents, friends, classmates. It does take a lot, and it's quite an accomplishment. This group of seniors right here, this is their third in a row. So to win one is a big deal. To win 3 in a row is a huge deal. Their freshman year must have been something from the coaching side. I'm not sure. I haven't figured that out yet, so we'll do that. So congratulations to these guys, and wish them well in their future. So.
Hi, I'm Russell Ahmed. I'm actually not a senior. I'm a sophomore, but those 3 are seniors. I got you. I just wanted to thank everyone who made this arrangement today possible. This is my second state championship, but I think last year some organization stuff happened and we couldn't show up. So this is a really good experience. Thank you everyone so much. It's been a great year. Thanks, Coach. Thanks to all the seniors for being great mentors. I don't have any college commitments yet, but I will be playing for the school next year.
I'm Matthew Kammeyer, and I'm a senior, and I'm going to be playing at Lafayette College next year.
I'm Griffin Mitchell. I'm also a senior, and I'm going to be playing at Drexel University next year.
Hi, I'm Ali Khan. I'm also a senior, and I'll be playing at Ball State University.
Thank you.
From Grandview Heights Division III Boys Cross Country, Derek Amicon.
Hi, congratulations to all the student athletes and their communities. It does take a village, I think. And I'm really proud to, my name is Chris Zabo, and I'm the head boys and girls cross country coach at Grandview Heights. This is Derek Amicon. He's a junior, and we're really proud of his accomplishments this year. He was the district champion, the regional champion, and the state champion, and he is our first ever state individual champion at Grandview Heights.
Yeah, so I'm only a junior, so I don't have any college plans yet, but I do want to run in college, and I want to thank my wonderful coach and parents for helping me through the college search and through this whole journey.
Well, you can get them first.
From New Albany, Division I Girls Golf, Anna Ritter, Madison Spies, Carrie Hollenbaugh, Anna Kosha, Gwenny Lee, and Shannon Ireland.
I'm Rich Ritter, head coach of the New Albany girls golf team. Congratulations to all the champions here today. It's really an honor to be recognized with all of you for the accomplishments that you've had. We appreciate you having us down for this recognition. We had a great year, second consecutive undefeated season for the girls golf team at New Albany, culminating in second consecutive state title. We had the sectional champion in Kari Hollenball. Anna Ritter was the district champion and also the individual state champion. And last year we set the record at the state tournament and improved that record this year by another 21 strokes. So it was a pretty good effort for sure, and just couldn't be prouder of these girls.
My name is Shannon Ireland. I'm a senior, and I'm going to be playing golf at Ohio Dominican.
Hi, I'm Gwenny Lee. I'm a senior, and I'm undecided.
I'm Anna Kosha. I'm a freshman, and I obviously have no commitment. I just wanted to thank Coach for being so supportive throughout the season and helping me keep calm when I forget my golf shoes and have to play in my Birkenstocks. So thank you.
I'm Anna Ritter. I'm a sophomore and I have no college commitment.
I'm Kari Hollenbaugh. I'm a sophomore and I also have no college commitment. But I also like to thank Mr. Ritter for helping me get into golf, because if it wasn't for him, I would have probably never played golf in the first place.
I'm Madison Spees. I'm a junior and I'm not committed to college. And I just want to thank my team for being the best team.
From Pickerington North, Division I Boys Cross Country, Matt Duvall.
Good morning. My name is Matt Duvall. I'm from Pickerington North High School. I'm a senior. I was a Division I cross country state champion. And next year I will be going to the University of Kentucky to run cross country and track and field. I'd also just like to thank my coaches, family, and friends for helping me along the way. I couldn't have done it without them, and for you guys for hosting this event. So thank you.
From Pickerington Central, Division I Football, Dimitri Crenshaw, Dom Marasco, Ty Hamilton, Anthony Lampron Jr., Drew Bookman, Cam Sini, Connor Burgess, Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Alec Hammer, Arson Williams, and Justin Canini.
Who's in charge?
Who's in charge here?
Well, I'm Dimitri Crenshaw. I go to Pickerington Central. I'm a senior, and I play football at Youngstown State University. I would like to thank my coach, Jay Sherritt, for everything. Coach, I would say, our parents for all the sacrifices they made, and yeah.
I'm Anthony Lampron. I was the center, and I'll be attending Ohio Wesleyan next year.
I'm Alec Hammer. I played left guard, and I'm a senior, and I'll be attending Akron University.
I'm Dominic Morosco. I played linebacker, and I'm undecided.
That's it, Commissioner. Commissioner. Thank you, sir.
Well, guys, again, congratulations to everybody. As we tell all of our student athletes at the end of the presentation, you are more than welcome to stay and learn all about county government this morning. We would love nothing more than to have you stick around and learn all about the wonderful workings of your county and what goes on here in Franklin County. But assuming that most of you don't really care, although you should, because this is where your tax dollars are at work, in some of the closest ways that it can be put to use. But if you need to get back to school, then you're more than welcome to leave. If you'd like to not get back to school, you're more than welcome to stay. And if you need an excuse for your teachers this morning, I'd be more than happy to sign something for you if you need it to be done so that you can stay. But we won't be offended if you need to get up and go and head back to school this morning. So it's your choice. We'd love to have you, but we will move on with our agenda. So thank you for being here. Congratulations to all of you. And again, make sure this isn't the most important thing you ever did with your life. And hopefully we'll see a lot of you back here next year. Congratulations, Coach.
It's okay, Jay, I saw you.
Good job, gentlemen. And now the room is empty. Microphone. I don't know if it matters or not. Take care, guys. Dude, that new Albany golf team is fantastic. Mark Hummer, his daughter plays for Arlington. Thanks, Jackie. His daughter plays for Arlington. She's a superstar. She can never beat that girl. She's a superstar.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it takes a lot to win a state championship. Yeah. No
All
matter what
right.
sport, it's a lot of accomplishment.
Dan, would you mind when they go, would you mind closing the doors behind them? Thank you. All right, we will need an approval of the minutes of the January 21, 2020 general session, the January 23rd, 2020 briefing.
So move.
Moved in.
Second.
Pardon me. Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
The minutes have been adopted.
Drainage engineer.
Resolution number 46-20, resolution authorizing a transfer of funds for the Stormwater Management Program and an interfund loan to support the Kaler Ditch Watershed Improvement Project.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Cornell Robertson, County Engineer and Drainage Engineer for everyone in Franklin County. Commissioners, this first resolution is for, as stated, the first half-year transfer for the Drainage Maintenance Improvement Program, as well as an interfund loan for the Kaler Ditch improvement. Pending any questions, I would request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 24-20.
Second.
Excuse me, Commissioner, 46.
46-20.
Oh, what is, it's different on my iPad, sorry. 46-20. I'm sorry, if there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 46-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 46-20 has been adopted.
Thank you very much.
The sheriff.
Resolution number 47-20, resolution authorizing a one-year agreement with Criterion Pictures USA Incorporated for the non-exclusive rights to provide viewing access of motion picture DVDs for inmates in the Franklin County Correctional Center in the amount of $2,730.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Masterson, Director of Administrative Services for Sheriff Baldwin. As stated, this resolution will authorize a one-year contract agreement with Criterion Pictures USA through January 14th of 2021. The agreement will provide viewing access of motion picture DVDs for inmates within the premises of Franklin County Corrections Center 2. And pending any questions, I ask approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 47-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 47-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 48-20, resolution authorizing an agreement with the City of Columbus for usage of its P25 radio communication system.
Commissioners, this one-year agreement will allow the Sheriff's Office to utilize the City of Columbus radio system for courthouse and correctional facility radios due to current coverage issues with the county-provided system. This is a no-cost contract, and during this time frame, we will continue to work to increase signal strength on the county system and see where we stand as we get closer to the end of the year. Pending any questions, I ask approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 48-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 48-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
The coroner.
Resolution number 49-20, resolution authorizing an agreement with AMN Healthcare, a healthcare recruiting firm, for physician recruitment services for the Franklin County Coroner's Office in the amount of $33,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. How are you today?
Welcome. Good.
Morning.
I am Amanda Alvarez. I am the Director of Operations for the Franklin County Coroner's Office, representing Dr. Annie Hugh Ortiz. This resolution will authorize an agreement with AMN Healthcare, a recruiting firm for physician recruitment services for the Coroner's Office. This services is to recruit one forensic pathologist to fill a current vacancy. At this point, we will then be fully staffed to 6 forensic pathologists. We have utilized this vendor's services in the past with excellent outcome. Pending any questions, we ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 49-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 49-20 has been adopted.
Office on Aging.
Resolution number 50-20, resolution authorizing a novation agreement with LJC Home Care LLC, doing business as First Light Home Care of Franklin, Fairfield, Delaware, Licking, and Union counties.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Amy Funk, Interim Director of Office on Aging. Through an ITB process in 2017, Office on Aging entered into a contract with B. Kreinler, Inc., doing business as First Light Home Care, to provide homemaker, personal care, and respite care services for senior options clients. Franklin County was notified that B. Kreinler, Inc., doing business as First Light Home Care, sold his company to LJC Home Care, LLC, doing business as First Light Home Care of Franklin, Fairfield, Delaware, Lincoln, and Union counties. Effective immediately and by signing this novation agreement, LJC Home Care will assume liability of the original contract. Pending any questions, I would respectfully ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 50-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 50-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Child Support Enforcement.
Resolution number 51-20, resolution authorizing an IVD contract with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $355,326.42.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Peltz, Assistant Director, Child Support Enforcement Agency. I ask your consideration in approving this resolution authorizing the CSEA to enter into a one-year interagency agreement with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office beginning January 1st, 2020 in an amount not to exceed $355,326.42. The purpose of this contract is to reimburse the Sheriff's Office for expenses associated with the execution of arrest warrants in civil contempt and criminal non-support cases, including activities associated with the extradition and the execution of arrest warrants in appropriate civil cases. Each unit of service, defined as 1 hour or a fractional hour of deputy time used to apprehend a person based on a CSEA-initiated activity, will be reimbursed at the rate of $85.42 per hour, with a total of 4,160 hours anticipated to be devoted to the contract. Pending any questions, I ask that this resolution be approved.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 51-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 51-20 has been adopted.
Thank you. Commissioners, sorry.
Resolution number 52-20, resolution authorizing a 4D contract with Subpoena Service Plus LLC providing process services in the amount of $90,750.
Commissioners, I ask consideration of approving this resolution authorizing the CSEA to enter into a contract with Subpoena Service Plus, who was the lowest and best bidder in the RFP process, which opened in November 2019. The contract begins January 1, 2020, and continues through December 31st, 2020, in an amount not to exceed $90,750. The purpose of this contract is to reimburse the process server for expenses associated with providing personal service of process on CSEA clients for administrative and judicial hearings when certified or regular mail service will or has failed. Each unit of service is defined by the contract in Appendix E at $45 for routine service, which is 3 days, $80 for routine service outside of Franklin County, and $80 for rush service inside and outside of Franklin County. The process servers will make at least 3 attempts to serve the parties. Pending any questions, I ask that this resolution be approved.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 52-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 52-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 53-20, resolution authorizing an employee training and recognition event on February 21st, 2020, in the amount of $1,500.
Commissioners, I ask your consideration in approving this resolution, which authorizes the CSEA to expend public agency funds not to exceed $1,500 to conduct a staff training and recognition event to be held February 21st, 2020, from 11 until 4 p.m. at Kennedy Hall at St. Agatha's on Northam Road in Columbus. The purpose of this event is to recognize staff for their 2019 performance, including the recognition of their day-to-day case management work and incentive performance, progress on our grant projects and internal projects such as Performance Center, the staff-driven strategic planning work, and experience management. For 2020, the agency will give its annual State of the Agency address, including all the agency's 2020 initiatives and expected milestones. Lastly, the event will serve to recognize staff for outstanding performance and years of service. Over half of the funding to sponsor this event was raised by our own staff through agency fundraising activities. Pending any questions, I ask that this resolution be approved.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 53-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 53-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 54-20, resolution authorizing County Administrator Kenneth N. Wilson to sign a letter of intent to be presented to Action for Children and for the Franklin County Child Support Enforcement Agency to engage with its innovative initiative, The Art of Positive Parenting, TAPP, Father Factor.
Commissioners, I ask your consideration in approving this resolution, which authorizes County Administrator Kent Wilson to sign a letter of intent for Action for Children. Action for Children's program, The Art of Positive Parenting, Father Factor program, was selected as a 2019-2020 funded program by the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, Ohio Commission on Fatherhood. The commission is a statewide commission whose mission is to enhance the well-being of Ohio's children by providing opportunities for fathers to become better parents, partners, and providers. The commission is authorized by statute to fund 5 fatherhood programs statewide. These fatherhood programs help fathers and families to improve their economic stability, foster responsible parenting, and promote healthy relationships. This letter of intent creates an understanding between the CSEA and Action for Children that the CSEA will refer non-custodial parents to the program. Action for Children will assist these non-custodial parents to become more self-sufficient and responsible by increasing their parenting, communication, and life skills, focusing on effective co-parenting and strengthening employment potential. The CSEA will ensure that these parent support orders reflect their financial situation and fathers can take advantage of arrears management programs and other enhanced child support services. Pending any questions, I ask your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 54-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 54-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you. Community partnerships.
Resolution number 55-20, resolution authorizing the county administrator to enter into community partnership contracts during calendar year 2020.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Dana McCrary, Administrator, Community Partnerships. This year, we are taking an entirely new approach with our Community Partnerships program. This whole initiative of change got started back in the fall when we opened this process to any nonprofit organization that had been in operation in Franklin County for more than 3 years. We received we received exactly 110 applications for funding. So it was some very stiff competition. And the result was that we narrowed it down to a class of 26 community partners, 6 of whom we had not had in our program before. So it really is a pleasure to have the opportunity to work with some new community partners who are doing great things in Franklin County, and to be able to enter into this new partnership. This resolution really is an omnibus resolution that streamlines the resolution process, ultimately serving the purpose of allowing us to get funding to our community partners in a faster way. So if there are no questions, I would respectfully request the approval of this resolution. And I know we can't.
Do you have guests here?
I do have guests.
Do you want to bring your guests up now?
I would love
Why
to.
don't we do
Thank
that?
you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Today we have with us, and this is something that we will be doing throughout the year. We have 26 community partners, 6 that are bringing new work forward. So it's my pleasure this morning to welcome Sue Darby and Sandy Stevenson from Southeast. Sandy is the Chief Health Officer at Southeast, and Sue Darby is the Senior Vice President of Housing at the YMCA of Central Ohio. I also want you to know that she teaches a mean indoor cycling class. She is a fantastic instructor, so if anybody has the opportunity to take that class with Sue, please go ahead and do that. We also have Peggy Anderson here from Equitas Health, and she is the Chief Operating Officer. And we really invited these phenomenal women here to tell us a little bit about the scope of the work of their projects and how Franklin County funding is going to impact their organization. So I invite the 3 of you to come forward and tell us a little bit about your work.
Well, thank you so very much, Commissioner O'Grady and Commissioner Boyce. I'm sorry Commissioner Brown is not here this morning. I want to commend you for your blueprint to reduce poverty in Franklin County. It's been a long time since any group, such as commissioners and others, have openly and aggressively taken on poverty. And to use the word, we're taking on poverty. So that makes a difference for all of us who are working for people who are struggling every day just to get ahead. Southeast is very grateful for the opportunity to have our project funded. We have been attempting to get this thing going for 3 long years, right, Sue? Yes. You're familiar with the Van Buren Shelter, and I think you've probably all been in the Van Buren Shelter. Mm-hmm. We know that people who are chronically homeless lose approximately 25 years of life due to health conditions that haven't been treated. And had they been treated, people could gain a foothold. We expect people who are chronically homeless to get back on their feet. We expect them to be able to go to work. And I'm here to tell you, if you are sick, if you are ill, if you're living with an untreated chronic health condition, you cannot get back to work. It's hard to get out of a shelter when you're in that shape. So the grant that you have funded places Southeast Healthcare into the Van Buren Shelter 22 hours a week in the evenings when people are coming into the shelter. We will be delivering primary health care with a team of 3 people, a physician or family nurse practitioner, an LPN or an RN, and also a care manager who will be assisting people with benefits and assisting people with gaining access to Medicaid through presumptive Medicaid, which our agency can do. Our aim in this project, of course, is to get primary health care to people that have had difficulty with access to health care, and at the same time to be assessing for behavioral health care issues, addiction, and mental illness to assure those linkages take place. We will also be working to get people their entitlements And we will be working to reduce the number of runs that Columbus Fire makes to this shelter on a daily basis, weekly basis, often unnecessary runs. If healthcare were in there, people would be able to get their healthcare needs met, like most of us do, by going to a primary care physician. So again, we're very grateful for the opportunity to work with you this coming year on this project.
Yeah, we're thankful. Again, I'm Sue Darby from YMCA, and very thankful for the Community Shelter Board to have the foresight when they built that building to put 4 exam rooms in the building. So this is something that we're going to be able to really utilize. If you don't know, we have around 700 to 800 individuals experiencing homelessness underneath one roof, and there's a lot of crisis that goes on with that many people with that much vulnerability. And so having them come on site for 22 hours in the evening to be able to build those relationships, build the trust, which is something that we're finding after 6 years of doing this, being a part of Van Buren, is really hard for individuals that have been victimized most of their life, is to have that trust. And so really excited about Southeast being a part of the YMCA family at Van Buren for 22 hours a week and to help our guests grow.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Grady and Commissioner Boyce, and for the residents of Franklin County for entrusting us with this program. Again, I'm Peggy Anderson from Equitas Health. If you don't know Equitas Health, we're historically an HIV and now an LGBT organization. In Columbus, we have 2 health centers and 2 pharmacies. And in our community here in Franklin County, we serve about 1,500 transgender-specific individuals with primary health care. We're also the organization that provides the sterile syringe exchange program, and we thank you for your support of that program as well. So this grant, the opportunity that you're allowing us to continue or to start this year, will be a recovery program specifically for the individuals that we serve. Obviously, the LGBTQ community, we serve a lot of folks, a lot of people of color, and obviously a lot of folks who are low income. And so we will be, we have been accredited for our mental health services for quite a few years, but this grant will allow us the capacity to become accredited and certified to do a substance use program with a long-term goal of then being reimbursable enough to support our services and grow them as we move forward. We've already posted some positions to get that started and hope to see our first patient on July 1. And then our goal for year 1 is to see 60 individuals through this program. As we know, there are never enough, at least I've never been around to see enough recovery slots in our community or any community. And we couldn't, I also just want to thank you for all of the projects you're supporting, because none of us do this alone. We each have our niche, we each have the things that we're really good at and really focused on, and we just want to be part of the system in Franklin County that helps the community members. So thank you again for giving us this opportunity and allowing us to expand our service model.
Great. President O'Grady, may I ask a question? One, I want to thank you all for the work that you do day in and day out. You're truly on the front line, and I think this is definitely a worthwhile investment and strategy. But I also want to just point out too, these are the type of funds that don't last forever, and so I want to make sure there is a strategy long term. It sounded like you were saying when you were talking about the presumptive Medicaid elements that there is a long term strategy. But I just wanted to you to kind of maybe talk about that for a second, just because there are a lot of agencies like yours that do great work in Central Ohio, and we do our best to try to support them, particularly when they're having new initiatives to spur that effort. But we want to make sure that there's a sustainability plan long term to be able to continue the work beyond the grant that we can provide over the course of however long it is.
So, each of your organizations are, critical partners of ours. I appreciate you bringing up the blueprint and the work that we've been trying to do for the last, better part of the last few years now. I mean, at least in terms of the effort that we began in terms of the study and then the effort to flesh out the blueprint, then now to create the blueprint and to roll it out to the community, and now as we begin to hire the staff and really try to begin this work and guide it, as we head, into the future. We need partners like you. We certainly, we certainly aren't able to do this work ourselves. We knew that when we started it. We knew when we began the effort that it was more about our partners than it was about us. That we're the agency, we're the entity as the county that, has all of these programs, that has all of this, that kind of in some ways leads the effort, which is why we got into this, and decided to stand up and kind of own it and say, this is an effort that we need to lead and need to be involved in. But it was about our partners, organizations like yours, that we decided that we thought make a major difference here. And so the work that you guys are doing are a big part of this entire effort. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your organizations and the efforts that you make every day.
President O'Grady, I feel like I should go back because that was a question that I asked. Yeah, so I was hoping maybe somebody could shed some light on that.
I will respond to that to the best of my ability. In order to pay our staff, we have to have revenue, correct? And presumptive Medicaid was such a gift, truly, across the country for people who otherwise had no ability to have health care. Literally across the country in states that adopted Medicaid under expansion, people flooded in for recovery services, for mental health services, for primary health care services. And once you have that Medicaid card, you can go to specialists to have chronic conditions treated better than you could before. You can get in more quickly for vision exams. So it makes a difference in a person's life, but for the provider, it's a payment mechanism. Okay. And we have staff that are specialized now in figuring out the whole Medicaid situation and also income, SSI and things like that for people. When you're at the shelter, you're not thinking about how am I going to pay for something, you just need it. So having staff there to assist people with that application, and we don't just do the presumptive application, we do the full application so that they don't lose their Medicaid quickly. The other thing we do, which is really important, is troubleshoot. If somebody doesn't have a Medicaid, we can go right into the system and figure out what happened. If they said they had it and they lost it, and we've all read about the backlog across the state. There's issues at the state level with Medicaid right now in getting things processed, so we can troubleshoot that. Once people have a payer, normally we can make our budget work. So this year we're getting in there over half time to see how this works with everything else we do. And we aren't shy either about approaching our friends at the federal level, Health and Human Services, HRSA, to say to them, this is an excellent project, and if you have expansion dollars, we want more money to do more within this shelter.
Right. I think that's an excellent strategy, and I think oftentimes, particularly with nonprofits that do great work and we're providing grants, we never like to be on the end of when we, want to support other programs and organizations like we're doing today with yours. Somebody doesn't get that money. There's another nonprofit out there that won't get the grant that you're getting, and so I just want to make sure that whatever you do is sustainable on your own beyond, the grant, whether it's this year and the next couple of years or this year altogether. And so but this is really excellent work. I think that you all are very thoughtful about how to think about it long term and sustain it. As practitioners, I'm sure that's an important part. And so I just like to have that conversation, particularly when there's something new being funded, just because there's going to come a time when the county has to shift its resources to other opportunities for improvement in our community, and so like with this, and so it's good that you have you're thinking about the long-term part of that. So thank you so much.
Do you have any other questions I can blow off?
Well, no one kind of stepped up. They just all kind of stood there. So I just want to make sure they did. But if you don't have any questions, I do have a question for probably the administrator and Dana. So if we're done here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. The only thing I would say here is that, we've had this conversation going back to our briefing and then subsequent meetings in my office. I'm not a fan of the omnibus approach to these contracts. And I think that these organizations that we fund for community partnerships are amazing. They do great work. I know just about all of them. But whenever you sort of, and I understand expedience, but whenever you bunch them in together, there has to be a great deal of scrutiny, because for somebody like me, I look for conflicts of interest. I look for small things in a contract, and so I actually like getting the detail, and I like seeing that and have an opportunity to red flag something that might be. And it's happened. I've been here with, I just through reading the contract, I see a conflict. And so I'm not a fan of this process. What I will commit to President O'Grady is to support this time, and we'll see how it goes for this year. But I don't want this to be the process going forward. I think that we should revisit this and look at if expedience is the issue. I don't think it's on the commissioner side that there's the challenge. The time it takes for us to approve something is nothing. I think it's how it gets there and then what happens. And I want to talk about that if we're trying to be expedient. That being said, these are wonderful organizations, do great work, and I will support this year only. And we can revisit going forward. And again, I just don't like the process of bunching a bunch of contracts together, particularly such a large, voluminous amount. That is gives me pause, and it's not a reflection on the work that you do, and certainly not the administrator. It's just my own comfort level with those contracts being bunched in there and the volume of money that's being spent. I like them individually, and let's see how it goes this year, and we can evaluate it in future years.
Well, Commissioner Boyce, thank you for sharing those concerns again. And I would say, absolutely, I would like to revisit the process, because if it doesn't work, I have no interest in doing it for an additional year. So I appreciate the board's flexibility in allowing us to explore a different avenue for addressing the resolution piece. I will say that the contracts with each individual nonprofit organization will come through, and I know the county administrator and I are committed to making sure that as soon as we get the contracts back from the prosecuting attorney, that we make sure each commissioner has an ample opportunity to review that contract before the county administrator would go ahead and sign it. So we're going to, try to be as flexible and responsive in this process. And absolutely, when we come to the end of the year, I think it makes perfectly good sense to look back at the process and say, okay, where did we save time? Ultimately, did this new process achieve the goal of allowing us to execute these contracts more quickly? And if it doesn't work, I'm certainly not wedded to this particular process. I am excited about the opportunity to work with our nonprofit organizations, and at the end of the day, truly, that's the only concern, that's the only skin I have in the game, is I want to be able to get to our nonprofit organizations more quickly, whatever makes the most sense in doing that.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, Dana. I just want to echo your comments regarding we will evaluate and review this process, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, as we go through the course of this year. One thing we benefit from as county government is an annual budget process. It makes it seem as though we don't have as much downtime as other ways of looking at budgeting. For example, if we had a biannual process. But because we have an annual budget process, we will review this and evaluate how successful it's been during the 2021 budget development process. As a standard practice of ours, we get so many quality requests that we will go through an extensive vetting process of the ones that will come through irregardless of the method of presenting those contracts. I plan to work with our community partnerships administrator to have a process upon which, when we receive those contracts back from the prosecutor's office, we have a organized approach of presenting those to the board for review. And if there's a conflict identified, we will in fact have the flexibility built in to not use the authority exercised under this resolution and present the contract as an individual resolution to allow an abstention if appropriate, and whenever we need to do that. So we will have a few sets of eyes during this process, because we've heard you as a board. We want to take this delegation, we take this delegation extremely seriously. So we will make sure that we vet these contracts after they come through to us for me to sign them and proceed forward. Again, we're always looking to try to become more efficient and to be able to deliver the services through funding to the community on behalf of the board. Thanks.
So if there's no other discussion or questions, I would respectfully request the approval of this resolution.
Move for adoption of Resolution 55-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 55-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks. Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 56-20, resolution authorizing receipt of fiscal year 2016 Justice and Mental Health Collaboration, JMHC pass-through grant funds from the Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County to support behavioral health interventions and wellness training for first responders.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Daniels, Director of Justice Policy and Programs. We're partnering with the Adam H. Board here in town to help them distribute some federal 2016 dollars through the Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Grant. We'll be the entity, Adam is passing all of the dollars through to us, and we'll be the entity to distribute those. In the resolution summary, you'll see the details of how they'll be distributed. They will cover mental health services for justice-involved individuals, and equally, and sometimes perhaps more important, wellness and trauma-informed training for the first responders who serve them. Pending any questions, we'd ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 56-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 56-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 57-20, resolution authorizing recycling of information technology equipment declared obsolete by the Franklin County Automatic Data Processing Board.
Good morning, Commissioners. Lauren Stahl, Assistant Director and Chief Financial Officer for Public Facilities Management. Monthly, this agency is asked by the Data Processing Board to assist with the disposal of obsolete surplus IT equipment. We do so in a manner consistent with the board's commitment to promote sustainable principles in our policy decisions and programs. Pending any questions, we request your approval to dispose of this e-waste.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 57-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 57-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 58-20, resolution authorizing execution of a parking rental agreement with OSERS Broad Street LLC for leased parking spaces in support of the operation of county agencies located at Memorial Hall in the amount of $4,550.
This resolution is for a parking rental agreement with OSERS for 10 additional spaces in a parking garage adjacent to Memorial Hall. This brings the space count to 70. These additional spaces will ensure we have adequate parking for building residents and visitors utilizing the services of county agencies in Memorial Hall located at 280 East Broad Street. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 58-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 58-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Purchasing.
Resolution number 59-20, resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $8,313,677.87.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan
Morning.
Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing. This resolution requests your approval of 170 purchase orders, for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Included in this resolution are 19 POs awarded to small and emerging business enterprises totaling $1,225,460.21. Pending any questions, I request your approval of this resolution.
There are no comments or questions. Move for adoption of 59-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 59-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 60-20, resolution approving, ratifying, and confirming a Franklin County Suburban Mayor's appointee to serve on the Franklin County Convention and Facilities Authority Board.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. As you are aware by state statute and the authorizing resolution, there are 2 suburban appointments to the Convention Facilities Authority. You all passed Resolution 679-17, amending the process by which those 2 suburban appointments would be chosen in taking the recommendation of the newly formed Central Ohio Mayors and Managers Association, or CAMA. They have made a recommendation to fill one of their expired appointments, former Mayor Ray DeGraw. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 60-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 60-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Are there any journalizations today?
No, Commissioner.
Thank you, Dean. All right, well then, for all intents and purposes, today's meeting is adjourned.